Take one.
Howdy folks, beautiful January afternoon at Carrie John Efurd Ministries, and we're here with AJ Mason, the county judge for Kent County, Texas. AJ, we're so pleased that you're here. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
I'm sure that a lot of our audience already knows who you are, but for those that don't, tell us a little bit about yourself and as an elected official of county judge.
Okay. Well, as you said, my name is AJ Mason, which actually is a nickname that happened when I was 16, but it stuck. That is a story in itself, and I can tell you if you want me to. But
sure, go ahead.
When I was 16, a classmate of mine, she and her younger sister, I was a sacker at Brookshire Brothers grocery store in Nacogdoches back then, and my name still is Anthony, and my mother still calls me Anthony, but they came through the line, and the younger sister of a classmate of mine, for some reason, nobody knows, just called me AJ, which aren't even my correct initials. My initials are J.A., James Anthony. But she called me AJ, others heard it, it stuck, and to this day my mother still doesn't care for it, but that's what I'm known as. And so it happened when I was 16, and that's who I am.
So if your mother calls you by your first and middle name, do you know that you're in trouble?
Absolutely.
Of course, that's the way mothers do.
Still.
So tell me what a county judge does, because I'm not familiar with all of your responsibilities.
Right. So in Texas, the Texas Constitution establishes that all 254 counties in Texas each have a chief elected official that is called a county judge. And in other states, it might be called a county executive. I've heard it called a number of things, but the county judge wears a lot of hats. Primarily, or I guess first, the county judge presides over the governing body of the county, which is comprised of the county judge and 4 commissioners from the 4 commissioner precincts. Every county in Texas is set up the same way. But you're one voting member of that governing body. But in some counties, smaller counties like ours, county judges also have judicial responsibilities. And so in our county court, I have original jurisdiction on misdemeanor criminal cases, probate, guardianship, mental commitments, and initial juvenile hearings. Then there's appellate jurisdiction from our JP court. So that's kind of the second prong. Then the third prong, administratively, the county judge in the smaller counties like ours, you're the chief budget officer, and basically you write the budget each year for the county. Now I don't do that by myself, and there's some very key people that assist me greatly. But together, we're able to put a budget together each year. We present that to the commissioners for their consideration, and then the commissioners' court, as the governing body of the county, would actually adopt that budget. So that's kind of, there's some other duties, emergency management. So if there's a natural disaster, the county judge by statute is the emergency management director, and that's not a responsibility that can be delegated. You can have staff that assist you with it, but at the end of the day, the county judge is still the emergency management director within the state emergency management system. So there's a pretty broad range of responsibilities.
You've got a lot of responsibility. So it sounds like you handle emergency situations during the pandemic and said, all right, you got to have masks, you don't have masks, shutting down or not shutting down.
That is correct.
That is a big responsibility. Well,
that's correct.
You've obviously done it well because you've been reelected for how many terms is this now?
This is second elected term.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
Just began January the 1st.
Wow. Well, you and your staff do a great job.
Thank you.
And when you said that you oversee some mental issues, I really wasn't aware of that before we scheduled the interview, but you know that's what Carrie John Efurd Ministries is based off of. You read Carrie's book. Let me make a little plug here. The Road to Recovery to Ell and Back.
Right.
And you know that the basis of our ministry is about mental health and maintaining mental health and all the ramifications that lead from that. Can you share with us what you have seen change in the last several years as far as mental health issues, going into family issues, addictions, crime, whatever you'd like to share with us.
Right. So I hate to not be optimistic, but in the number of years that I've been doing this, serving as county judge, the changes that I've seen in the mental health arena have not been for the better. It's a system that is broken in our state, and it's overworked. It's oftentimes misused, and it's overloaded. Now, this is something that our state legislators are aware of, and it looks like this is most likely going to get some significant attention in this current legislative session that just began. But as far as a local level, that system, what does it mean to us on a local level? In our county, and we're a small county of only 12,600-ish people, we will do an average of about 115 to 140 mental commitments annually, and those come through the court that I serve in. And that number has been fairly steady in the years that I've been serving. We see most of those commitments related directly to usage of drugs. And so, and this is where the system is kind of, the world has changed, and these statutes and haven't kept up with those changes, because we see most of those commitments being related to drug usage, which does indeed cause behavior that then fits into the mental health statutes. But it's not really a mental sickness that a person may suffer from. And so by that system being used to do something with folks that are having the drug issues, that system isn't really set up for that. And so what we see is a person having that is abusing drugs. It causes behavior that fits the mental health criteria for an issuance of a warrant and admission or committal of this person into a facility. And then once this person kind of gets off of it for a little while and they get straightened up and everything, they come right back out, and really their problem hasn't been addressed. And so then we see the revolving door effect.
That's right.
And this is where the system, and I don't have the answers, but that the system doesn't really fit the problem right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you know where our ministry heart is to help the individuals and the families learn about what the problems are and help them by educating them and make them aware of what they can do to better the outcome, change the behavior, change the individual. A lot of times, especially with a homeless situation, which is increasing all over the state and the country, it deals with true mental illness. And families are not equipped to take care of that problem. They don't know, or they are just so burned out they can't find out. So we work with individuals to help them in rehabs, through recovery, but we also believe that God's Word is right there at the basis of all of it. This is extremely interesting to speak to you one-on-one like this. I know just this past week, the sheriff has expressed his concern about the number of beds that are being filled with those with mental issues. The jails, and it's not just Camp County, I think it's throughout the state and the nation, they're getting overfilled. So do you see where the individual ministries and nonprofits can help step up to, kind of form a bridge to help those individuals, especially when they come out of jail, get back into society and learn, equip themselves?
Sure, those to fill those gaps. If a person's been not necessarily in a county jail, but been in a prison for a long period of time, obviously, to help those folks get assimilated back into society. But the ones that are in our county jails, and the sheriff is spot on, there'll be folks who are awaiting mental or a bed at a state level institution to be evaluated to see if they're competent to stand trial. Those people, until that long time, about an 18-month wait, until they can get there, then they're in our county jails. That's not good for anyone. Our county jail staff, they're not equipped for that, and it's not good for the person that's in there. But absolutely, the organizations like Carrie John Efurd Ministries that can come in there, and I think you hit it, bring the message of Christ to these folks. There's hope there, and also give them the tools to work with in addition to that. But they're absolutely advantageous and a positive for our community. And sometimes it's a matter of actually working with the individual. Sometimes it's knowing where to send that individual to get the right help.
That's right.
So there's a lot of different ways that organizations like y'all's can help.
You know, I know that families get frustrated because there's a lot of red tape out there with these agencies not knowing what's covered, what isn't covered, who to go to, who to call. So finding the resources to put in the hands of these people, I think, is critical. In closing, I'm going to allow you the stage to address our audience. And it's not just Camp County, remember. So you can say whatever you want to our audience.
About this issue?
About this issue or whatever else you want to say.
Well, I would say that I've had opportunity to, a few years ago, meet Carrie John, and we had discussions, and as time went on, he wrote his book, and I got it and I read his book, and then I obtained several copies of it, and I've been able to share that book, and in doing so, sharing his story with some people as I've come across them in my job, that I felt like it would be a good fit for them. What I often look for is someone, no one can be helped unless they're ready to help themselves. And whenever I see someone it seems like they're ready to help themselves, I'm going to share his book with them. That way his story, and maybe him personally, get involved to share with them. And hopefully help those folks out of the difficult situations that they're in. And I just see it as a very big positive having our community, Carrie John Efurd's Ministries. It won't be anything but good for our community, and we're glad y'all are here.
We appreciate you coming out today, AJ.
Yes, ma'am.
And in closing, on my part, I just want to say thank you to all of our supporters. Thank you to those who have downloaded our mobile app. And if you have not, or if some family or friends are interested in getting our app, go to the App Store or Google Play, look for Carrie John Efurd Ministries and download it. That way we can give you up-to-the-minute events that are upcoming, and we've got big plans for 2023 coming up. And if you want a copy of the book, go to Amazon.com, Amazon.com. Everyone, thank you. Hi folks, Carrie and Debbie here to give you great information.
Yes, we are so excited. Today is the day we've been waiting for. Our new mobile app is officially launched.
Even better, it's free.
Once you download the app, you can access all kinds of information. Discipleship tools, ministry updates, our website, giving portal, books, music, and coming interviews with public officials, business leaders, and personal testimonies.
Downloading the app is easy too. If you have an Apple iPhone, go to the App Store and search for Carrie John Efurd Ministries. If you have an Android, go to the Google Play Store and search for Carrie John Efurd Ministries. Our ministry app will pop up and then you download. You will be asked, do you want to accept push notifications? Be sure and answer yes.
Yes.
To be alerted whenever we upload new material to our ministry app.
Folks, we hope you will enjoy the convenience of this tool as much as we enjoy providing it to you.
Download today.
See you on the app.